I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, and welcome to the after show for Songland. We're covering season 2, episode 4 with our special celebrity guest, Martina McBride. And this was such an amazing episode. I think most of us are excited to talk about it, but we do have a little controversy going on here. So it's going to be a great episode to talk about. I'm your host, Julana Dizon, and I'll let my co-hosts introduce themselves. Michael?
Hi guys, I'm Michael. Excited to be here again.
Hey everybody, I'm Violet Kanyan. I'm so happy to be back this week.
Hey guys, I'm JJ Jorgens, and me too. This is like the highlight of my week these days. Good to see everybody.
I know, this is really exciting, and we want to thank our viewers, of course, for sticking around with us and watching us via these Zoom shows instead of being in the studio. But it's been a nice change, and let's get right into it. So, Martina McBride, I think we're all four of us, I think it's safe to say, are pretty big country music fans. So we're super excited for this episode. And I have to say, my first impression was, gosh, she is stunning. Is she not? I mean, yeah. Sure. I've seen pictures of her, but seeing her like on camera in real life, I was like, oh my goodness, she is so stunning. I want to start off with like just quick thoughts about the episode. So Michael, what were your thoughts?
I enjoyed the episode. I actually enjoyed the episode more than I thought I was going to enjoy the episode, primarily because, you know, when you're talking about such a country legend like Martina McBride, you just never know what kind of songs people are going to bring to her. Like, it's kind of like if someone were to write a song for Dolly Parton, would you though? You know, kind of. And so I feel like I didn't really know what to expect when it came to the quality of the songs that were being brought to her, but I was pleasantly surprised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, could any of my songs be as good as like Martina McBride songs, kind of? Yeah. What did you think, Violet?
I kind of agree. I was thinking it would all be kind of ballady songs, and then I went through a lot of Martina McBride's songs that she's released, and I'm like, no, she has powerhouse songs. She has like anthems. So then I got really excited about it, but I didn't know what to expect, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Nice. JJ?
Well, for me, I think you guys tapped into it. I think I set my standards like so high for this because you guys all know I love country music and just love it, love it, love it. So I was thinking the same with somebody like Martina McBride, like a legend in the country music scene. I expected that I would walk away from this episode being like, oh my gosh, I loved all 4 songs. I don't know which one to do. They're like all so amazing. And I sadly didn't feel that way, but.
Yeah, I will agree that I didn't feel that way with all of the song picks. As you know, some other episodes we've been like, wow, these are all great songs. These all need to be on the radio. But I did really like the songs that we had. So to start it off, we have CK with her song Heroes. And I thought her voice was great. And it was a nice segue because she was very similar in range to Martina McBride, I thought. So that probably would have made it easier for Martina to kind of envision her own self singing it. I think sometimes it's harder when you have like a guy singing a woman's song or vice versa. At least for me it is. But for me, the first impression that I got of this song was that it was very dark and deep and kind of low, not in a bad way, but in a way that it like demanded your focus because I wanted to hear like what was going on in the song and what the story was about. And there's definitely some of those belting notes in there that Martina is so good at. So that I thought that fit well with her. What did you think, Violet?
Actually, I totally agree with the vibe of the song. I was like, oh my God, I need to listen to the song. It's really, really good. But then as it got to the chorus, I wanted it to build more, and it didn't do that for me. And I wanted that like punch in the chorus. Did not feel it at all. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, it's good, but it needs a little more.
Mm-hmm. JJ, what do you think?
Well, I loved her voice and I love this song. I love the attitude. I love the I don't answer to anybody, but I agree with Violet. Like I wanted that chorus to be like boom and just get me. And I put that in there that I thought that they would probably the next go around like really amp that up. And for me, I saw this as a song that could totally be used in trailers, Marvel movies for like powerful like girl superhero type of thing, which also made me question though, I didn't really see it as a Martina McBride song. Like I kind of didn't want to see the country turn to it. Like I want to see somebody like Pink or, somebody with just real angst and just, and I guess maybe if it was country, I think somebody I would maybe pick this for would be like a Kelly Clarkson. But I did love this. I love this song and I did love her voice.
Yeah, that's interesting. I forget that they use songs for like movies and stuff like that. So a lot of these songs we're talking about heroes, so that would be a great fit. But I mean, you would know that because you work in TV a lot.
That's my day job. So that brain was kicking in like, oh, I'd use this lyric,
Uh-huh. All right, Michael, what do you think?
I mean, I agree with all of you guys. Like, it was a good song. She had a great voice. It didn't. I wrote as I was listening to the song. I wrote, this needs to go somewhere. Like, it's not going anywhere melodically. Like, and then Ryan Tedder said when he was giving their notes that it needed to explode, and I was like, yes, that's a great word. It needed to explode into the chorus, and it didn't. Like, she sprinkled those belting notes that Martina McBride does throughout the song, but they were detached from something to kind of ramp to those. And it kind of took away a lot of power that the song could have. But it was a good song. Like, again, I'm always impressed by what the Songland producers, how they find these songs and bring them, like, they're great songs. So great job.
Cool. Yeah. All right, moving on. So our next guest was Haley with her Girls Like Me song. And it's so funny because I could, like, looking at your faces, I can already tell who really liked it and who was like, eh. And I could tell Violet really liked that. So we'll let you start with this one.
Thank you. I really did like it. I was like, but immediately, even when in the prepackage, when they talk about their songs, I was like, this is kind of like a really young girl song. Like, I could see Kelsey Ballerini singing it. I thought it would be perfect for her. And then when she sang it, I was like, yes, this is definitely a young girl song. I can't see Martina McBride singing it. And then when she said that, I was like, yay, she agrees. I thought the way they could change it was having Martina sing to the next generation, which is pretty much what they did. So I love that angle, and I guess we'll talk about that later. So yeah, I really liked it.
Oh, you're like a music expert now. You're like a professional songwriter.
Yeah.
You're like, well, we need to change this and this. JJ,
when they agree with us, it's amazing.
I know, right? You're like, yep, check one for me.
It was right
JJ.
there. I was right there with Violet. My notes were, I thought that the song was relatable. I thought it was safe. I liked the girl's voice, but I said the song didn't wow me. And I really wrote, it feels too basic for Martina at her level where she's at. And then I wrote down, like, she's Martina effing McBride, like I love that. Like, to me, like you said, like a young girl starting out kind of country song. And it didn't wow me.
Nice. All right, Michael.
I mean, I think everyone's saying the same thing, that it was a pretty immature song in terms of what it was about. And everyone, like, I'm sure everyone watching it was like, how is Martina McBride going to sing this song? Like, what? It's just not. And then I think also, safe is a good word to use. Like, as a young songwriter, she just kind of cookie cutter basic put together a song that had all of the parts that you need to have a song, but it wasn't Martina McBride. Like, it wasn't, which I find interesting. And we can talk about what they did to it later, but I found it interesting that they even brought the song to her in the first place, to be quite honest. Like, it's very much a 2010 Taylor Swift song, and Martina McBride hasn't been there ever in her career. And so I feel like it was a very strange song to bring to her, but I get why they did later on down the road. understand it a little bit better. But I was kind of confused.
If I could
Yeah.
add to this point right there, because I thought that the same, and I think about why my expectations were so high is because, they're in Nashville, like you have Shane, you have all this access to like the best freaking country artists in the world and up and coming ones in that area. So I think that's why I set the bar so high on this one.
Yeah.
I
know,
do
we're
want
always
to
more
ask
critical
though.
about the country music ones.
Yeah.
What's up, Violet?
Yeah, I do want to ask when Esther said she changed that one lyric to "Girl, you're just like me." That totally won me over. Did you guys change your minds at all when she changed the lyric to that?
I mean, if we're going to talk about it now.
No, we got to talk about it later.
She was in the comments when she was just commenting. Yeah.
I mean, I liked it because I could see where they were going. Like, I was like, okay, like the next generation, like giving some sage advice. Like, I liked that idea. Musically, like, I still felt like it was too youngish, too youthful of a sound for Martina McBride, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, and I did change a bit too, just because I'm all for girl power all the time, and I like that it's singing to the girls. And of course, yeah, I've been there where it's like you drink beer to stop thinking about some guy that you've been hurt by. Of course, I've all can relate to that. But I guess same as I just thought that there was maybe a more deeper or more mature way to sing about that and kind of that pain and what you go through.
Well, that's the thing that got me is like we have all been there, so I liked that aspect of it. But it was very Taylor Swifty. That was my first thought. And how are you going to relate to Martina McBride? But what I liked most about her segment and her personally is just that she seemed so super genuine and like excited. And she was like everyone that comes on there, yeah, their dream is to be a songwriter and have their song cut. But this girl was like, with her whole body and being and soul, I felt like this was her dream come true, and she was like, moved to Nashville at 19. And actually Ryan said something that I thought a lot of people can relate to, especially a lot of like freelancers and entertainers and songwriters, whatever. He said, if you have a plan B, your plan A won't work because the second it gets too hard, you'll run to your plan B. And that kind of like gave me chills because, we're all out here, we work in the entertainment industry, and it's true. Like you have to love what you're doing and trying to do like with your whole body and soul. So like, I really got that from Haley, and that's what I liked most about her. And I liked her song, but yeah, we'll talk about that later. But we're going to move on. So then we've got Wolves, a duo group, which is also the first time we've seen something like that, right? Yes?
Yeah.
For sure. I thought that was really cool. Like doing all these experimental things now in season 2 Songland. So we have a duo and their song was called Miracle. And it was cool because the one guy did most of the singing and the songwriting and the other guy did the producing and the beats and the lyrics. So, I mean, I guess producing and beats. So I thought that was a cool thing. For me, it felt really soulful, but I kind of didn't know what it was about. And I kind of had a hard time seeing Martina sing it. What did you think, Michael?
When I was listening to it, I was like, I mean, why? Like, why? Like, why pitch this song to Martina McBride? And not because it was guys, because it's pretty easy for me to kind of transpose in my mind a guy singing something that a woman's gonna sing or vice versa. But so that wasn't the issue for me. It was more like, this isn't even in her like wheelhouse. Like this isn't what she does. And I mean, the song was fine, but I felt like the lyrics were incomplete and it just needed so much work to make it a Martina McBride song. I felt like the guy was pretty, when he was getting emotional about his mother and, how the song, he thinks about his mother and when he wrote it, like her being this hardworking single mom and all that. Like I resonated with that, like coming from that kind of household and things like that, and wanting my mom to reap the benefits of miracles and all that kind of stuff. But I was just kind of like, okay, it was a miss for me in terms of Martina.
Now, I want to ask you, because I always love to know, like when you say that a song wasn't fit for this artist, what artist would you see picking that song up right away?
That's interesting. I could see it being, let me think about it. I could see it being a ballad that kind of maybe, I mean, obviously John Legend's a go-to, but but even like maybe a ballad, like an emotional heart ballad that resurrects a Chris Brown career, or something like that. I don't. Yeah. Yes.
All right. We'll move on.
I would just say
JJ, what'd you think? Okay.
I'm just gonna ditto him.
Yeah.
That's it. He said it all for me.
Violet. Same.
I kind of feel bad for this entire set of songwriters, only because, like we were saying, it's Martina McBride. Like, it could have been any pop artist who would have really loved that song, but it's Martina McBride. B, it's country music, so we know country has a story, and the song was completely missing a story from like top to bottom. So I feel so bad for them because the guy sounded great. I wish his vocals were a little more fluid. I wish it just flowed a little better. But I actually really liked the song. But then I realized I wasn't paying attention to lyrics because I really liked the chorus. So that's all I was paying attention to. So I feel like if it was any other artist, they could have taken this and really done something amazing with it. And it could have been a moment for any artist. But it was Martina McBride, and this is not her song.
Yeah. Well, we wish them good luck. They got X'd off, didn't make it to the second round, but we have Jeffrey James, who did with his original song, We Could Be Heroes. And it was funny how he described himself in his intro. He was like, yeah, I wasn't really into songwriting. I did basketball and I was kind of like an ugly Zac Efron in High School Musical. And I was like, well, that's really funny way to describe yourself. But he's also from Nashville. I love that they have so many people coming out of Nashville this season, because I feel like the first season, a lot of people were out of LA. But yeah, for me, this was a feel-good song and very like motivational. And then I really liked, because after, this was one of those songs where when he finished, like all the producers kind of jumped on it and they were starting like throw out ideas, and it's so cool to see them like go to work on it, like they're solving it like a math problem or something, and he was kind of like, yeah, that's what they do. That's why these guys are the best, because you can see when their minds really start working, and that's really exciting, I think, for everybody watching. But JJ, what were your thoughts?
He was my fave. I liked him. I loved his voice. I thought it was the strongest song that we'd seen so far, that we've out of the group. Even in this first round, I know they questioned some of the lyrics, but some of the lyrics in the first round got me, like, if we don't quit, we could be heroes, riding up stronger, holding out longer. I liked it. I thought it was strong, and I wanted him, and I lost.
What do you think, Violet?
I immediately, right when he started, I was completely hooked on the song. This is one of the ones that they kept teasing on the Songland Instagram page. So I was like, oh, he won for sure, because like they kind of do that. So I was kind of surprised with how this episode ended, which I won't talk more about. But yeah, I really, really, really like this one.
Nice. Michael?
Yeah, I was convinced of this song. Like it was effortless in how it kind of elevated itself. The choir was like a perfect addition in the first iteration, and the little tweak in terms of the lyrics that they were suggesting, I see that, like I see kind of this small gap that needed to be bridged in the story, but it was a great song. The guy had a great voice. I was convinced that this was going to be the winner.
That's funny. Well, so one of you guys mentioned earlier that one of the important things about country music is having a story. So I'm going to use that and segue into our special segment here for our Songland After Show, which is run by JJ.
All right, guys, let me pull this up for you and give you our story for the day.
Well, first, real quick recap. What is our special segment? What do we do here?
We do the stories behind the music, basically. So when you're singing a song like we all do, sing along to the lyrics, and we think we're singing about something, you know, we're singing about a breakup or whatever, but then we find out what the actual songwriter was really talking about when they wrote the song, and we find out that we were way off.
Yeah, like what was that song the first week? We all thought the lyrics were like my Corona, and it was my Sharona or something like that. That was a funny one. Yeah. All right. What do you got for us this week?
All right. So this week we're going back to a little Nirvana song from 1991. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Anybody guesses what you think this was about?
Beer. Wow. What do you think? What'd you say, Michael?
Needing to wear deodorant.
Well, actually, then you were right on. You were right. You knew.
Oh my God.
So yes, so the inspiration behind this song is actually deodorant. So according to Kurt Cobain, he had no idea until after the song was already released that that's what it's about. So he had a friend who wrote the phrase, "Kurt smells like teen spirit" on his wall, referring to him smelling like the woman's deodorant. And Cobain's then girlfriend, Toby Vale, wore teen spirit deodorant, and the smell would stick to him. So that's why he smelled like teen spirit. And then his friend wrote the song about him smelling like a girl. Deodorant.
That's so funny because now that you say that, I
my
remember I used to have that deodorant. I had the strawberry kind, and it was my favorite ever. And I don't even think they make it anymore because I remember like when I was in college, I tried looking for it to buy it, and I couldn't even find it like on Amazon.
You need to bring that back.
I know. Yeah, like things from the 90s.
Yeah.
That's a good one. All right, guys, should we get into round two?
Ooh.
Ready for round two? All right, so we got Haley, CK, and Jeffrey that moved on. Like we said, the Wolves group got nixed. And first in the studio, we have Esther with Haley, which I thought was a great pairing because it's like, you know, the two girls and they're singing a song about girls. So that seems natural. But yeah, who wants to start off? Just raise your hand. Okay. Okay, Michael.
We're
Let's
like,
Are we talking about the final product or what?
Yeah,
happened?
like them in the studio and the final product.
Okay. No, I agree. I think that Esther was the perfect pairing for her. The song was good, but it still felt 2010's Taylor Swift to me in the end. Like it still was very youthful. But even with the sound was youthful. The lyrics, I appreciated how they then lended it to one generation singing to a younger generation. And I loved how Martina McBride responded emotionally to it. I'm sure she was thinking about the things that she tells her daughters. It was a beautiful song and a beautiful sentiment. And then when she performs it, never mind. But it was a great song. It was a great song. But
That's okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, JJ, what did you think?
I agree with them. Like I liked the transition they made. I like making it speak to more women, and I definitely see why Martina was affected by this and, you know, got emotional. And I think what I love about her spirit is I think she is just an amazing person and really like a cheerleader for girls and for women and for so I do like, I love that you could tell. I think it really meant something for her to, you know, be supportive, you know, of this girl. So I get all that and I get it. But again, at the end of the day, you know, I think even with Esther's touches, for me, this just wasn't, you know, it wasn't a country song that I was like up in my living room, like singing to and wanting to hear on the radio and just like hooked in.
You were still like, this is Martina effing McBride.
I was like, come on, we can do better.
All right, Violet, let's hear your thoughts.
I love what they did with the song. I love the lyric changes. And one of them was chasing dreams. One day you're going to make history. I was like, oh, I love that. That like totally caught my attention. But I was so shocked that Martina would even go, I guess, choose the song because she had this one's for the girls like years ago. And this is so similar to that, has such a similar story and message. So I was like, oh, I like, yeah, this is definitely a Martina song, but maybe 2010. I'm sure that that song is older, but yeah. So I was kind of confused about that, but I did like the song, and I love what they did with it. But yeah, a little confused.
That's funny that you said that because when they were doing it, I was thinking in my head, I was like, this is similar to another song about being a young girl and blah, blah, blah. And I like couldn't remember who sang it, and it was Martina McBride. It was that song. But whatever. I loved it. I got chills. I mean, I'm kind of like a sentimental thing when it comes to like songs about girls. Like I remember one time I was listening to some song, a Carrie Underwood song, like when I was leaving for college, and it was about like leaving for college, and I just started bawling like in the car. It
Aw.
was like a song similar to this, right? So like as soon as she said this is like a mother's letter to her daughter, I got chills, and I was like, bam, done. Like this is for sure the winner, because girls like all across every spectrum can relate, right? You have your really young girls that are Taylor Swifty and like always heartbroken, dealing with things, and then you've got like even girls like in our age group where we're like, okay, we're not moms yet, but we can still relate to those feelings of like being heartbroken and just, trying to figure out life and love. And then you've got the older women who are moms, like Martina is, talking to the younger girls. So I thought it just like resonated for girls all across age groups. And I was like almost crying. So I was like, yeah, come on, this is the one. Like this is for sure the one. So I really like that one. But all right, we got CK and Shane in the studio. And I really liked this version. It seemed more pop. I didn't really get like country vibes from it, but I was still into it. Like I feel like if I heard it on the radio, I would still accept it as like country music and be like, cool, I like this. But what did you think? Let's start with JJ.
I like this one. I liked it. And I did think they tried to make it more country, and I see what they did to try to make it be more of a Martina song. I still went to I liked version 1 better. I liked the power of that, and I still wanted to go back and hear somebody like Pink or sing this song and just blow it out of the water.
How about you, Violet?
I love this version of the song. I thought she killed it. The singer was like, CK was amazing when she performed it. And I was like, oh, I could totally see myself like belting this song out in my car, like when I'm going through something. It's like, man, I don't need you. Like I got me, So I thought this was like an awesome, awesome song. For Martina, maybe not, but I still love the song.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Mike?
I agree. I wasn't a Martina McBride song. When they performed it, there was like the first few guitar riffs that I immediately started singing. There's a fire starting in my pitch it to Adele.
Yes.
And I couldn't get that out of my head as I listened to the rest of the song. So I was pretty sure Martina wasn't going to go for it, simply because it's not a Martina McBride song. They did try and like country it up, but it kind of was covered up by the pop nature of it, the pop anthem nature of it. So yeah, I felt like it was a great rendition from the first version, but it wasn't a Martina song.
Yeah, that made me think of an interesting point. I wonder if like other famous artists or just other, artists in general, I wonder if they watch this show and if any of them ever pick up any songs that didn't get cut by the celebrity artist.
That'd be interesting.
Right? Like what if Pink is watching this show and was like, I like that song. Like hit up Brian, Tedder, or whoever, let's go cut it. Like that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the great thing about this show is like, that's so important. Singers, they need songwriters. They need good songs. So I think that's really cool. And one of those like hidden things. All right. So next and last, we've got Jeffrey and Ryan Tedder in the studio together working on changing lyrics. And they did a lot of changing pronouns like I, we, us, which I thought was really interesting because it's one of those like subconscious things I think you don't think about that much. But it really does make a difference when you're singing it and when other people are singing it. I'm going to start with Michael because I know you do songwriting. So do you have any like thoughts and experience with that particular subject?
It's interesting. when they were talking, when I think it was Ryan that was like, I kind of shy away from the word we. I never thought about it that way, but I myself, and I know a lot of songwriting friends who kind of just don't like to collectively you kind of use that collective verbiage. But I felt like it worked for this song. Maybe he said it too much, but and then in the rework, what I love the lyrics that they changed. I think one of them was stronger than we know, we can be heroes, and I was like that changed it changed the song for me, and I like it evoked an emotion from me, whereas the original version, I loved it, but I wasn't my heart wasn't struck. But when they changed the lyric to stronger than we know, we can be heroes, I I connected with it on a different level. And then they had a live like choir thing set up, and I was
Yeah.
like, this song, guys, like somebody do it.
You're like, I'll do it. Give it to me. I'll sing it.
To me, like somebody do this song.
Great. Why, Violet? What were your thoughts about this one?
I completely agree with Michael. That choir just like it made me so emotional. I was like this is the song. This has to be the song. And they kept the beginning, the opening, which was my favorite part of his original version, like the way, just the melody of it, and like the darkness of it. So I love that, and I was like, I love this song, and it totally connected with me. I love that little change that they made that Michael was talking about with the stronger. Oh, I can't.
JJ?
Right there with you. I loved it the first time, loved it even more the second time. And I agree. I like that they kept it at the start. And to me, it was just so powerful. And I was like right there with it. And then, yeah, when that gospel, when the choir started behind, I was like, oh, but, now you took it there too. And why I really wanted her to pick this one is because I thought it was different. And I feel like we haven't heard new stuff from her for a while. So I feel like, it wasn't so far out of her realm that it didn't make sense. Like I felt it was like a good modern day, strong woman, I still got this. I can do this. This is why I'm who I am kind of song, and I thought I would have loved to have seen her do it. And it was just different for me from the other ones. And I thought it was just a solid, fantastic song. But with Michael, I hope he releases it, or someone saw this and they do it. I hope Michael maybe does it next week for us.
No.
Oh yeah, we could do live performances here. All right, we're gonna do. Huh?
Oh, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
you
I was
go
just gonna say, just with what's going on in like the world right now, it was so perfect too. I mean, obviously they didn't know that when they were shooting, but lesson learned, Martina. Lesson learned.
All right, so drum roll. Our winner is "Girls Like Me" by Esther and Haley. Woo! I was excited.
Yay!
And you know what? This one, like I said, it just touched my heart because that girl was so genuine, and Esther like stood up, and her face, like she had some kind of element of shock. I don't know if it was shock or like happy. Like there was something there. You guys know the moment I'm talking about. She stood up and she was like,
Yeah.
like maybe she was just so happy for the girl because Haley was so excited about it. And like that's the amazing thing, she's a songwriter in Nashville. And she said in her bio, she was like, once I moved here when I was 19, I realized that everybody else is here doing the same thing. It's like it might have been really, really hard for her to get that opportunity to be in front of Martina McBride to pitch her song in Nashville. But now she got on Songland, and that's where she landed. And that's like so amazing. It just like gives me chills when, TV shows like make people's dreams come true like that. So congratulations, Haley.
Yay.
Yay. And before we go, we do have some news and gossip from Violet, and then a special announcement from Michael. So take it away, Violet.
So the winner, Miss Haley, she actually comes from country music family. Her brother, Michael Tyler, wrote Dirk Bentley's "Somewhere on a Beach." So she's got some ties in the country music world. So I think this is amazing for her family. It's both her and her brother. They're on the charts, because iTunes right now, I think last time I checked, the song was number 6. So that's awesome.
This song that Martina just cut.
Yeah, this one. Mhm.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
Wow.
And wait, Violet, who's our special guest next
Oh,
week?
yes. I'm sorry. Next week is Miss Julia Michaels. Like, they need to up the game because, whoa.
All right, guys, last thing, special announcement from Michael. What you got first, Michael?
Okay, so since we're talking about songwriting and singer-songwriters, I just wanted to announce to all of the people that are watching that I released an EP yesterday called,
Woo!
you can find it on all of the platforms that you stream music or purchase music. So go look for it, Michael, Pink Dolphins. I'm excited.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. How long did it take? How long were you working on that?
It took me, well, I revisited it because so we started writing the songs years ago, and I kind of put them away because I didn't feel like the sound was where I was in my, I guess, maturity. And then since I've been in quarantine, I was like, let me take these out of the drawer and see what they're doing, and kind of worked on them a little, not a little, a lot, and was like, I think I just want to give it out, put it out there, and see what people think. So it's a lot of acoustic stuff, and I called it Pink Dolphins because of the rarity of pink dolphins and how in the Amazon River, pink dolphins' health kind of like tell how the river's health is. And I was like, oh yeah, like I feel like we're all kind of in this place where our personal health kind of determines what our environment looks like or feels like, or the health of our surroundings. And sometimes that's good for people, sometimes that's not so great. And we're all dealing with this weird time in different ways. And so I wanted to kind of put some music out there that speaks to that, at least to me. So that's what I did.
Congratulations. See, there are really good things that are coming out of quarantine. I'm sure everyone is going to be picking up their personal passion projects that they've left behind because of work and whatnot. So it'll be exciting to see all these great creative things that come out of it. All right. So Michael, where can people follow you at?
You can find me on all the social media platforms at official Michael. That's official MYKELL.
Cool. JJ, where can we keep up with you?
You can find me at jj.jurgens on Instagram, jjjurgens on Twitter, and then check out my Tom Girl YouTube page.
Yes.
Channel.
Tom Girl is really awesome. If you guys don't know what Tom Girl is, it's a show that JJ hosts. I've been on it before hosting and also as a guest. And it's basically for all your, how would you describe it? Like just confident, awesome chicks.
Love it.
We cover fashion, sports, entertainment, adventure, and it's just not for chicks either. We got some dudes on there.
Yeah. All right, Violet, where can we follow you at?
You can follow me on Instagram at Violet Kanian. That's Violet at Violet Kanian, and also my blog, beautyinsideus.com.
Woo, see, everyone's got great things going on. And you guys can keep up with me on Instagram at Julana, Julana. And we will see you guys here next week, same time, same place for episode 5.
Hey, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.